Check it. Bob Marley lives in Amsterdam. I seen him while riding on the number 4 tram. In the window, still puffin' endo. In the middle where men go. For lustin', you could trust when the wind blows. You'll be sedated, invaded by the inhaler. The choice of a man with a prophetic voice. Some hear it and heed, the greedy fear it indeed. But most just smoke the tree and never plant the seed of understanding and compassion. Mr. Marley was asking to curtail harassment of cats with black skin of African origin, extended to more men. Wherever there's oppression of a people's, it's for them. But impressions printed on flags and posters deflect the vital message that the wise one spoke of. Over one cup of coffee, he taught us about war and one love. The roster man's chance settled the score. And when the scourge of injustice gets next to us, he called on the trumpets to announce the...
And I really do appreciate you doing this for me or for us, because hopefully somebody gets something out of this. You know, my name is Suncere Ali Shakur, former activist out of Washington, D.C. My second home is New Orleans, Louisiana, and Algiers. And today, y'all in for a real treat. Today, one of the most dynamic black men on the planet, former Black Panther, served in the Marine Corps, put together housing for over 100 ex-offenders, co-founded, founded Common Ground. He was our front man. He did a fabulous job. My mentor, my teacher, you know, one of the most thoroughest black men on the planet, buddy. You best believe it. Here on the People's Dinner Party, you know, where we can talk that talk, you know, and have a little bite to eat and a little something to smoke, a little something to drink, you know. And Malik, man, since I don't have you that long, brother, first of all, do you recognize this picture right here?
Do I recognize what?
This picture right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so, yeah, that's right. I have never seen it before, but sure I recognize it. Because I had Malik and you had Roscoe.
Roscoe, yeah. Every morning during the Katrina situation, we had a ritual. We would get up early in the morning when the curfew was over, and we would take the dogs for a walk to clear our minds. And this was probably after Malik done swept off the top of the house, hosed down the sidewalk, did his push-ups and calisthenics, and then we went for a walk, you know, to clear our day before we went to relief mode for the community of New Orleans and surrounding New Orleans. Yeah. So Malik, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Those who may not know you, tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and the Panther Party, you know, when you joined the Panther Party and all this type of thing. Because you are former Minister of Defense for the New Orleans chapter of the Black Panther Party, correct?
No. We never had. We didn't break down in Louisiana with titles.
Okay.
All right. The brother who started the NCCF,
right?
Steve Green. Well, he left that Friday before the shootout.
Okay, the In Desire Project, right?
And we didn't want to assign anybody a position,
right,
until he came back,
right,
because he was going to be whatever it was to be the head of it.
Right on.
But by then the splitter came up in the party, and he never came back.
Okay. Well, look,
So
since we
with
started out
that,
with the Desire project, tell us how that all went down.
huh?
The Desire project story, how that went down.
Well,
When the police ran up in the project and had y'all up, facing all with the police for some time.
well, residents came to us to help them organize a tennis association
Right on.
in the project.
Right on.
And that was my first dealing with tennis consuls.
Okay. Okay.
We was organizing the tennis association for Desire.
Okay.
And we moved into a building that was across the street from the project.
All right.
But it was also a place that was known by all the residents because it was the home of the Sons of Desire.
Okay. Who were they?
The Sons of Desire at one time had downstairs and we had upstairs.
Okay.
But I could never remember them being open while we were there.
Well, who were the Sons of Desire, Malik?
It was a group of brothers that were from out of the Desire Housing Project that was working on establishing program to meet the basic needs of the residents of the not only the Desire but the surrounding community.
Right.
So when we came in, we started working to do the same, working with the residents.
Right.
And I could tell you, man, in 2 months, we had transformed the development.
Wow. Wow.
You see, you're saying, wow, but we did it in less than that at the Woodlands.
Yeah.
So again, this is
wow.
something.
Okay, I see you. I see you.
That we had a history of doing. Because see, my thing now is to educate people on what transpired in the aftermath of Katrina.
Right.
So that we can make sure that this never happened again.
Right on.
The demonization of the greatest relief movement in the history of this country.
Wow, that's a lot.
No, I mean, but nobody else have done with Common Ground.
No, not at all. I had
no one. I don't care where you look at in history, you'll never find another relief movement
right
that accomplished what we did just in the first year.
Yeah. Probably
just the first year.
5 months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
Hey, we was killers the first 5 months. I had visited not to compare organization against organization, but when I was so enamored with Occupy Wall Street and and their structure and everything, and then they formed Occupy Sandy, and they were asking for Common Ground people to come through and help them out. And I had some time on my hand before I went to summer camp, and I went up there, and let's just say I was expecting something different, but I was like, nah, they wasn't like us at all, because we was up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I think we used to have like 8 o'clock meetings, something like that,
Oh.
And we worked all day. Under your leadership. I'll be quiet in a second, because I want you to get your story out. You probably done told this story 1,500 times already. I appreciate you telling it once again, for me and my new audience with the People's Dinner Party. you know, where we celebrate our elders, because we losing a lot of our elders. Some of y'all ain't never heard of these brothers and sisters that have made the ultimate sacrifice. You know, this man right here, one of the main reasons I've been able to like take care of a 22-story building in the projects and a 64-unit housing in the back. He taught me that skill set, you know, and I'm not the only one. It's probably 500 of he done replicated to be like him. Is out here, you know. So with that said, Malik, you know, go ahead, man, and tell us, you know, more about, you know, what you're about, brother.
Yeah, as I was saying, bro, there's never been a relief organization in the history of this nation.
Yes, sir.
To accomplish what we did.
Yes, sir.
In 1 year, we had 10,000 first year. From September of 05 to September of 06, we had over 10,000 people to come and volunteer at Commonwealth.
Wow.
Right? That's
right.
the first thing. We served well over 100,000 people.
Right.
In 9 parishes, not just in the wall, but in 9 parishes.
Yeah.
You got to remember, I sent you to 2 of the racist places in the state of Louisiana.
Oh no, Malik, I forgot all about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you got to remember when you went out to Homer.
Yeah.
You know, the head of relief movement in Homer. That was the first time they ever seen whites working under the direction of a black man.
Wow. Wow. I ain't even think about that. I ain't even
the same thing about in Plaquemine Parish.
Yeah.
They had never seen that before.
Right.
When you sit up and tell and was giving them that spiel about common ground in Plaquemine Parish, they had never seen that before.
Nah, they
haven't. When you was out in Homer, you started a breakfast program.
Yes, sir.
The Eddie Conway breakfast program.
Eddie Conway Children's Street Breakfast Program, number 2. Yeah.
They ain't know nothing. Well, who was Eddie Conway?
Yeah. Peace out to my brother Eddie Conway, Marshall Eddie Conway, former Black Panther out of Baltimore, Maryland. Got hit with a counterintelligence program, spent over 30-some years behind the wall, probably a little longer than that. Malik is a little closer to him than, you know, a lot closer to him than what I was. He could probably fill you in more on that. And but yeah, in DC, how I met him, I started a Children's Street Breakfast Program, and I got in contact with him, and he would call me from Jessup into the breakfast program, and I put him on the speaker so he could talk to the kids while they were eating. But go ahead, Malik.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's something that never had been done. They never had experienced no free breakfast program, especially one driven under a name of a man that did over 40 years.
Yes, sir.
Of incarceration.
Yes, sir.
And was a Black Panther.
Yes, sir.
Now in Plaquemine, you had it a little better because you were working with Tyrone Edwards.
Yeah.
And you know, Reverend you know, now he is the city council person.
Yeah.
In that area.
Yeah, I learned a lot. I learned a new wrinkle working with him. And I learned a new wrinkle working with him. And I'm not a big fan of police, you know, but the Phoenix police and around his area, they didn't leave like the rest of the police and leave people behind and doing all this crazy stuff. They stayed and they rescued all their residents, and they still stayed. And I love them for that.
But wait a minute, you got to understand this, that 90% of the police in Phoenix lived in Phoenix.
Okay. Oh, that
right?
makes
They
the
was
whole.
from that community.
Okay, that makes
It's
even more.
different when you have those law enforcement that have a vested interest in the community
Right
than
on.
those that just come in.
I got you. There you
They
go.
come in and leave.
Yeah, there you go. I smell what
They
you're cooking.
don't know the community.
Yeah, I smell what
They
you're cooking.
only know what they see,
Yeah.
not what they experience.
Yeah.
But there you was dealing with a law enforcement that know what they have experienced.
Right on.
But it shows some of the greater things that that Common Ground did, because you got to remember, Common Ground got his name from Robert King.
Come on now, Angola
They're the
3,
only
baby.
freed member of the Angola 3.
Yes, sir.
And now the only existent member of the Angola 3.
Yeah.
So he got his name from him. And many of the first volunteers that came down, because even Jackie came down, which was one of the only people, one of the few people I knew that worked with it. Because one thing you got to remember, we was all strangers.
Yeah.
No, none of us had a history of working together on anything, let alone providing service for those that have been impacted by a major hurricane.
Right on.
And then we was working under all the way up until then. There had never been a disaster in America where FEMA came under Homeland Security.
Say word.
There never was one before. That was the very first.
Wow. Wow.
And the Homeland Security took control. That's why most of their immediate effort was upon security.
Right. Yeah, I remember them.
Because you have to remember when we started, it was squashed. I mean, they said that only blacks that was left in New Orleans was looters.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember Jefferson Parish closed its borders to blacks from Algiers.
I ain't forgot Harry Lee neither.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember that.
Yeah, I ain't forgot his ass.
Because see, if it happened once, it can happen again. If people don't check it out, analyze it, make sure, dissect it to make sure that it never happened again.
There you go.
I'm not a person that's naive.
Right on.
I done dealt with racism all my life.
Right on.
But never have I experienced what happened in the aftermath of Katrina.
Right.
When Jefferson Parish, when Gretna said that no blacks from Algiers could come into their city.
Right on.
And they quarantined us into Algiers.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's like if right now they would say there's another COVID outbreak. But if you're blacks and you ain't from Gretna, you can't get no vaccine.
Right.
But all whites could get it.
Wow.
You know, you have to understand, these are the conditions. These are the conditions that we was working under.
Yeah.
And these are some of the things that we was able to break when you went out there to home.
Right.
In Plaquemine Parish. And listen, never before in the history of New Orleans have you ever had anywhere close to as many whites to come down and work under the leadership of a black man. Right. Right. They had never had that before. Right. They never experienced a meeting where they have to look at whites in the meeting. Right. See if what one of them gonna go back and tell Malik. Right. What's going on.
Right. I want to share this story with you, right? When I was out in Plaquemine Parish, you know, when we had that church, Plaquemine, You know, Isabel, you know, Bell was, you know, my partner, my, you know, business partner for those, you know, that I need to define that to. You know, she was like, you know, my, you know, not assistant, but she was like my second in command. So we bust out the church and everything. And, you know, me and Bell, we got to spend some time together because, you know, that's what it requires being project managers, right? So I wasn't really paying any attention at all. And somebody alerted, you know, hit me to the fact that them white boys wanted to, like, you know, do me in. So, and I just, you know, I shrugged it off, you know, because they was mad that you know, me and Bell was so close. They didn't want this big black nigga being close to that young white girl. I think Bell was like 19, 20, you know, and not bad looking young lady, you know, very hard working though. But anyway, so I called. So during the meeting, we have, you know, how you train us to do. We have daily meetings, once in the morning and once in the afternoon, so we can decompress and talk about our day and also decontaminate our equipment, right? So I'm in the so we're in the circle. So I tell all the fellas, you know, before the meeting was over, I say, hey man, I want all the guys to stay behind. The rest of y'all can leave. And so the meeting was over. And I said, you know, it seemed like y'all upset that you know, this black guy working with this young white girl. You know, I know it seemed like y'all, you know, might want to try to do me in and all this type of thing. When I said that, I didn't even think it was real, Malik. I was just saying it just to, you know, I was fishing. About 2, 3 of them white boys broke out crying and all this type of thing. And I told them, I said, hey man, if you got a problem, say either we can talk about it, or you see that back door right there, we can go out that back door. All I ask is one-on-one. That's all I ask. You know, it didn't go to that, but all of them had that guilty look on their face and apologized to me. And I was
told to understand, they had never experienced that before.
Right.
See, that's some of the greatest things that Common Ground did. You dig? It broke. Listen, most blacks, the very first relationship they had with a white person, other than the police or the insurance man or store clerk, was with Common Ground.
Yeah.
They had never known a white person before.
Thank you for reminding me, because I forgot a lot of this stuff, brother.
I mean, see, the role that Common Ground played as it relates to undoing racism,
right,
was just as great as the role they played as providing aid in the aftermath of Katrina.
Right.
These are the things that never happened before.
Never.
You know, I mean, but we have to learn from it so that we could prepare ourselves. I tell a lot of individuals, I say, man, listen, they say, well, hey, man, don't form no type of, you know, let it be just a black thing. And I always remember what Fred Hampton said.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you don't fight racism with racism. You fight racism with solidarity.
How about that? All power to
and there's a difference in
people.
Solidarity and charity.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So again, you know, we have to understand this.
Yes, sir.
And that's the reason why we was able to accomplish what we did.
Yes, sir.
Listen, right now they have a statue of Meg Perry.
Right.
The only volunteer in the aftermath of Katrina to lose her life while volunteering.
Meg, yes.
There would be a statue of her.
Yeah, it should be. That would be a hell of a symbol too.
In this city, we classified her as a drifter.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't even classify her, the sacrifice that this woman made, because Meg had made 4 trips
Right.
to Portland, Maine, and come back with supplies.
Just
Four times.
how she died tells you all you need to know about her.
Well, not how she died.
Yeah.
The day she died.
Yeah. I'm saying like she
now wait a minute.
saved
You know
her
what day that was?
Huh?
You remember what day it was that she died?
Damn. Nah, what day was it?
It was the anniversary of the International Human Rights Declaration with the United Nations.
Wow. No, I wasn't keeping track.
Yeah, December the 10th.
December the 10th, day before I was about to say my birthday, because something said, damn, why do I feel so positive that it happened on my birthday?
It happened on December the 10th.
December the 10th.
That's right. We was coming from a demonstration. We had a demonstration celebrating international human rights.
Right.
Based at the City Hall.
Right.
Dealing with the racism.
Right.
Dealing with the divide in between classes. Dealing with what was going on with the police as they related to those volunteers that was down here working with us, because they criminalized them worse than they did us as a Panther. Because I'm gonna tell you something, all the way up until then, the worst thing for a white person to be classified as a race traitor. Thinking every white that came down and volunteered with us, they classified them as a race traitor.
Yankee and race traitor.
Huh?
Yankee and race traitor. Because you remember what they did? You remember what they did to Paul, right? Paulie with the dreadlocks, my partner.
Yeah, that's what went to Homer with you.
Right. They tore his whole truck up. They tore his whole truck up and told him that if he didn't get his Yankee ass back up north, that he was gonna find it, that they was gonna shoot him in the head and throw him in the Mississippi. And they told him, said, tell your little fat friend, he next.
Yeah, well, you see, that's the part of it.
Right.
I don't know if you remember one day you and I and Rasmus. You remember Rasmus?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Welcome to New Orleans.
Yeah. That we was up in Homer.
Right.
And Rasmus was talking about let's sleep under the bridge so that we don't have to drive all the way out there to Homer the next day.
Right.
And I told him right now, ain't nowhere in the world I'm sleeping under this bridge.
No doubt.
Yeah, we had to go back to New Orleans.
Really?
You think because of the fact I know what would have happened.
Right.
Think so
Didn't
again?
We try it again though?
Huh?
Didn't we try it again later?
Didn't we what?
Didn't we try it again later?
Did we try again later?
Yeah, because
we went back the next day.
Okay, that's
but
what's up.
We didn't sleep out there, not under that bridge.
Nah.
See?
Ain't nobody doing that.
You know, it made me kind of shook up when man, what you stopping here for? Well, we could live here until tomorrow. I said, oh no, we ain't laying nowhere. We going back to New Orleans, or we going back to the office up in home.
Right.
You know, we went too far to go back to home, so we heading to New Orleans.
Right,
we ain't sleeping under no damn bridge.
Yeah. He think
because of the racism, because of how they had demonized us. They never classified us as an aid, only as an embarrassment.
Right.
They don't care how many people we see, because our health clinic, from the day that it opened its doors, for that first year, it was seeing on average of 100 people per day.
Some of the best.
If people wouldn't have came to the health clinic,
Yeah.
When it came to us, they would have had to go to an emergency room.
Wow.
An emergency room.
Yep.
Emergency room visit at that time was over $500.
Yeah.
To come to our clinic was free. We absorbed the $15 that it costs us per patient to keep it going.
Right on.
That's how much it cost us. $15 per person.
Right on.
So we're looking at the saving that we was costing the city, that we was saving the city. That should have been enough for to have the city support.
Right.
But we never got their support.
Nah.
We opened up a state-of-the-art health clinic in the lower ninth ward that they wouldn't allow to open until they rid themselves of those at common ground.
Right.
Look at MLK school. It wouldn't have opened because they was talking about demolishing.
Right.
Until we went in there and cleaned it up.
Nowadays, huh?
No, we had to go up in there and clean it up.
Yes, sir.
And our reward for it was that they put a Brandon Darby in it.
Oh Lord.
So, I mean,
sorry about that.
Think about some of the things that, I mean, listen. The lower ninth ward, or the ninth ward period, never had in its history before or since as many as whites and staying in that community, working in that community as it did during the time of common ground.
Wow.
The ninth ward was classified as the most dangerous part of the city.
I have a very...
The most dangerous place in Algiers was the Woodlands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look how we was in the Woodlands. Look what those police, when they took y'all and brought y'all up in the park.
Dude, they robbed
the
lady.
Huh? You remember that?
I remember
they took you and some students from Occidental.
Yeah. They was on the phone. He was on his private cell phone. My thinking, what was happening, since he wasn't using regular communications and he was using his cell phone, they was trying to figure out where to take us to office. That's the vibe I got. And the college kids, they back there mouthing off and going all crazy. And I'm like, yo, I don't think y'all understand the gravity of this situation. But what saved me, I just so happened to be on the phone with Soleil when they pulled up. Because when they pulled up, I was like, yo, you wouldn't believe who just pulled up on me right now. And I told her the name of the police officers. Because those are the ones that was like, they went and got the computers and all this type of thing. So, and they were stressing us, to leave anyway. And it was those police officers. So I got lucky. I was on the phone with Soleil before they pulled up on me. They wasn't able to take us nowhere because Soleil and the crew, they put together this announcement, that we had got, locked up and all this type of stuff, kidnapped rather. And we sat in that car for about 45 minutes handcuffed. A white shirt comes out, let us out, takes us around to the back of the car, take the cuffs off of us. I was like, damn, Soleil was working that shit, And
you know why?
Hold on
for a minute. You know where that happened?
Hey, no, let me tell you this part right here, Elder. Please forgive me for interrupting you. What had happened, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. When the white shirt took the cuffs off me, he told me, oh yeah, tell your friend Malik Rahim, his 15 minutes of fame is going to be up real soon. He ain't what you think he is and all this type of stuff, That's the last thing the white shirt said to me when he walked away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But what he had told a lot of them, those college students, that I was going to cause them to lose their scholarships, and that they was going to send me to prison.
Yeah. Dude,
I'm
inside the
trying to get the Woodlands with drug money.
Right.
And the thing about it, the mayor wound up going to prison.
Right. Wow, that's right.
The councilman at large wound up going to prison.
Right.
And our congressman wound up going to prison.
God diggity darn.
Nigga, I ain't never went to prison. I'm still here.
Right on.
See? But what they were saying and what happened is a whole different reality. And listen, during that time, they was evicting people out of the Woodlands.
Yep.
And he was mad at y'all because y'all was finding them a place to go to.
Right.
Yeah. And listen, the need for housing was at its greatest.
Right.
But everybody that they evicted, because you have to remember, they evicted the whole project. I mean, the whole Woodlands.
Right.
They had a white Reginelli who was the owner to sell it to a black so that he could put us all out.
Right. Reginelli.
So they had a black to put everybody out.
Peyton Manning's former coach, high school coach.
But you see, you have to understand what they was doing then. They was dealing with the psychic of us by having blacks to do this despicable deed at the worst time, putting people out. And they was putting them out at Christmas.
Yeah, true that.
They putting them out.
Right.
But you look at that development now.
It's a beautiful piece
basically still condemned. Everything they tried to do at that development since Common Ground had failed. Everything.
I like the artwork.
The most successful period was when we was there.
Right. I had fun out there. It was dangerous, but I had fun.
I always think of Lil Tyler walking through there, going to doing that midnight basketball.
Yeah.
They're dealing with some of the most dangerous blacks in the community. And nobody never even thought about doing it.
General de Gaulle don't play, buddy.
Well, yeah, I mean, so again, you know, it shows what we can do when we come together.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to do. We got to continue this. I'm looking at that T-shirt you got on.
Yeah.
Mutual aid disaster relief.
Yeah. Continuation of common ground.
That's all it is. A continuation of common ground. And you find it all around the country with different organizations, people that is doing that same kind of work.
Oh.
I mean, I look at right now, this Category 5 hurricane is passing pretty close to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But I know this, Puerto Rico is more prepared than at any other time.
Right.
Because of the work of mutual aid.
Right. Yeah.
It went over there and started setting up microgrids.
Yeah.
They're talking about solar and breaking that dependency on fossil fuel, on how to organize and work for your recovery as a collective, not as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
You start seeing the work that they're doing. You know, just about every disaster that have happened since Common Ground.
We've been in the mix.
Somebody been there.
Yeah, I would say your disciples have been in the mix. And I know because I've been in the mix and still in the mix, you know. But yeah, not truth, nothing but truth.
You know, so again, you know, these, and now I'm gonna tell you, son, I'm gonna have to get off in a few minutes.
Come on, man, you can give me 2 more hours, Malik.
Oh no, bro, because I got to go on.
Hey, Hey,
I do that Facebook Live.
I'm gonna DoorDash you some food, and you stay a little while longer.
No, bro, I can't do it because I got to get ready for my Facebook.
Hey, shout out to Jimmy Dunson, my boy Scott Crow. You know, two really good comrades. Shout out to them. And hey, Malik, man.
Man, listen, well, you mentioned Scott Crow.
Yeah.
Man, listen. I had met Scott, but I didn't really know Scott.
Right.
Scott had came down to rescue King.
King, right on.
But when he couldn't get across the river the way King was, that's when he came over by me. So I didn't really know Scott.
Right.
But this was a white guy that came down and with weapons to protect me.
Protect us all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I remember.
Never had heard of anything like that.
Nah.
Think if it's anything, he as a white man, he's supposed to have been having those weapons to be used against me.
Right. Would have been like,
but he stood with justice.
Yeah.
Same thing about Rasputin.
Yeah.
Things that those whites was telling Rasputin of what they was doing to us in the aftermath of Katrina. The only reason why they told it to him because he was a European white boy.
Right.
They classified him as a purebred.
Right. Goddamn.
Didn't think that it would disgust him to the degree that he would come and start working with us.
And filming them.
Oh yeah.
And undercover filming them. Acting the ass. You know.
So like, son, I could give you another 10 minutes.
Right.
At 1 o'clock, I got to go. I'm on somebody else's laptop.
You say 10 more minutes?
I'm at a community center.
You say
so 10 I got to go home and get ready for 4 o'clock.
You got to go now?
No, I could give you another 10 minutes.
Hey, man, 10 minutes like an hour to me, big brother.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that, Malik. You heard me?
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, bro. That's all we got to do. Since we haven't done it once, we could do this again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, because we got a lot of stories.
Let this be a beginning.
Yeah, we got a lot of stories, buddy. We got.
I'm gonna tell you, anytime. Listen.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yes, sir.
That you want me to come on here.
Right on.
That's all you got to do is just give me a day notice. So if I do have anything scheduled, I can change it.
Yes,
now,
sir.
The only day I won't be able to do it is on Wednesdays at 12.
That's church.
That's it.
Okay.
Any other time, if you want me on it, I'll be on it.
Yeah, we got stories. Hey, Malik, look, one thing. Tell them about the Panther reunion coming up. When and where and who and how.
The reunion is the 19th.
Right.
Through the 22nd of October.
Right on.
October is a month we classify as Black Panther Month.
Right.
So we are doing it here to celebrate not just the New Orleans or the Louisiana chapter, but the national.
Right on.
Will be celebrated here in New Orleans, the 19th through the 22nd. And the theme of our conference is dispelling the myth of Black Pantherism.
Right.
You could say that when they let Herman and Albert and King out.
Right.
And those were the 3 members of the Angola 3.
Right. Shout out to the Angola 3.
They never said that what they had done to those men was unjust.
Yeah.
So they're still like, these are criminals.
Right.
So they had Albert as being the most dangerous man in Louisiana.
Right. Shout out to King's King's Praline Candy too. Shout out to King's Prelude Candy real quick.
Yeah, you do that candy. But again, so we talking about how can we dispel that myth of Black Panther? How can we take that and dispel it? Why? Because it was the carry-on of how they felt about the Panther Party on the way they dealt with us in the aftermath of Katrina with common ground.
Right.
So again, our goal is to speak on that. We will be at the start off at the John Thompson Center. And John Thompson was a person that was on death row in Angola.
Right.
And while there, Herman had him to sign a petition on behalf of Mumia.
Right. Malik,
I call him number 29 because he was the 29th death row inmate to sign a petition on behalf of another death row inmate in another state.
Yes, sir.
Never been done in the history of this country.
Wow.
See? But these are the little things I want our individual to be able to see. And to have the things that, hey, we can do for self.
Right. You're right about that. Hey, Malik.
Exactly. Because with many of us, we believe that, I want to start this program. I got to write a grant. You know anybody could write a grant? 501c3? Right. You think, no, we was doing the work when we obtained 501c3. Right. We was already doing the work.
Hey, Malik, I got the reason, pardon the interruption, but I want to use my last little 3-4 minutes up. I want to talk about your mom, bro. And, who she was, as an activist in New Orleans, the things she taught you. Because how I feel is that, we started really on her shoulders because we needed a place to stay, to stage it, and it was at her house, and then she gave birth to a Black Panther, out there, doing this thing, 40, 50 years, out there doing your thing. But I just want to give a little time, if you don't mind,
Yeah, I mind because there's no way I could do that.
Yes, sir.
And pay justice and homage to my mother in 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. Much respect for that. Yes, sir.
I could never do that in 5 minutes.
Sir. Yes, sir.
But I can say not only my mother,
right,
but how many others. We talked about Eddie Conway.
Yes, sir.
He had a mother too.
Yes, sir.
Talk about Rochelle McGee.
Yeah.
He had a mother too.
Yes, sir.
So as many of our mothers, Gary P. Newton,
Georgina
Seals.
Yeah.
The Honorable Marcus Garvey had a mother.
Right on.
So, it was many of us.
Yeah.
That had this. And we have to understand this when we pay homage to them.
Right.
As a community, as a people.
Yes, sir.
The sacrifices that we have made. Here in New Orleans, we had the Honorable Dr. May Taylor, who told us the Mardi Gras crews here in this city that either you're going to have to integrate them or you got to get them out of New Orleans.
Wow.
A Black woman.
Wow.
I mean, it was to the degree that as you come here and you talk about going to Louis Armstrong Airport, when Louis Armstrong was the king of Zulu,
yeah, wow.
The next day, that very next day, he was treated so bad that he's left from here and ain't never came back.
Right. Wow.
So you had that here. Then you had Fannie Lou Hamer in Mississippi.
Yeah. Shout out to Fannie Lou Hamer.
Oh, yeah. And that sister was beaten by 2 Black convicts.
Right on. Yep.
White boy had him to beat him. beat her up. They
Facts.
whooped this woman like she was a man.
Facts.
They ain't stopped her love for black people.
Nah, she kept on going.
Kept on.
Hey, I
So
might be wrong about this though, but I thought I heard at some point like Fannie Lou Hamer was kind of like one of the inspirations for the Black Panther Party.
I could believe it because in that little area, NCCF was founded up in Cleveland, Mississippi.
Say word.
So again, right now, it has been ever since Fannie Lou that you have been having more elected black officials from Mississippi than in any other state.
Right on.
So again, my brother, I got to close by praying that the Most High continue to bless you.
This been the People's Dinner Party with Malik Rahim, hosted by your main man, Suncere Ali Shakur. All power to the people, all power.
All power.
Sure. Thank you, Elder. You have a great evening, man. I'll catch up to you in a little bit here.
All right, my brother. Peace.
Peace. All right.
Let's say shoot for the stars, but we're still shooting for living wage. Nowadays, credit cards and debt are just another cage. They say it's okay, just stay positive and pray. But I think to myself, well, will that really cause change? I think to myself, where's the riots, where's the rage? What will rage really cause the corrupt to turn a page? I'd rather set the book ablaze than watch another racist child get raised.
Oxtails, man. Look at them oxtails, y'all. Look at them oxtails, y'all. Look at them oxtails, y'all. Look at them red hot, y'all. Look at them hand molded patties, y'all. Look at them. Hey, anytime, my brother. Hey, look at them grill marks on that chicken, y'all. Look at them grill marks on that chicken, y'all. You about to close? Look. It's almost done, yeah. That over from right there. The ones that face down, flip them over. Look at that chicken. Look at that chicken. That finger licking chicken. Oh, Roman Rome getting down. Oh, Roman Rome. Look, that shit done, bro. Yeah, that shit tender in the mouth. Yeah, it's done. Hey, I give it another 5 minutes.
My bad.
Nah, you good. You Gucci. We gonna put the rest of them burgers on it. Look at them oxtails. Look at them oxtails, y'all. Look at them oxtails, y'all.